Welcome back to Full Time Movie Fans. We've got a special episode. I'm your host. Just call me Jarvis from now on. It's Jarvis. Most people call me Jarvis. And this is my co-host, Michael. Say hello. There you go. This is Michael. He's actually going to be, he's not going to say anything today. Everything that he wants to express, he's going to express through facial expressions, movements, body language. So that's going to be a special, it's our special episode today. He's going to be my silent host. No, he's got a lot to say. I think ASMR. Or is that AM? Is that right?
Yeah, ASMR.
ASMR. Listen to my voice. This was a movie. I think what was our last episode? I can't even remember. I feel like it was a little while ago.
Yeah, a lot's happened.
Oh, because it was
There's 12 Angry Men.
Yes, the connection is a number in the title.
This is a number, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, after 12 Angry Men, which was your recommendation, which was a fantastic movie. Again, go watch it. You know, look, I'm going to say this again, but just watch all the movies that are in the title first before you come over here, because we want you to enjoy them. That's what movies are made for.
Yeah.
I know some people are lazy, they don't want to watch it. Like, the only time I do this where I just will watch someone's review or breakdown is if I don't really want to watch a movie. I heard it was bad, and I was kind of want to get an idea of it, but I don't really want to watch it. This is not one of those movies. This is one of those movies you do want to watch. You want to spend some time in the evening, maybe, turn the lights down low, rent the movie, pop yourself a bag of popcorn, enjoy with a friend or a loved one. I think it's a good movie.
I did put it on and asked my girlfriend to come watch it with me.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'm not interested. And it's really not catching me. And I was like, well, we are 2 minutes in. And then by the end of it, she was like sitting down laughing. She's like, wow, I really love true crime. This is really silly. And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
very
good.
Yeah.
So first off, this movie, give us some facts on it, because this movie was written by somebody that you know who's done some really good movies.
Yeah, here's some theater nerd talk. This is a movie written and directed by Martin McDonagh. Martin McDonagh is an Irish playwright, originally most famous for The Cripple of Inishmaan and The Pillow Man. Both sound very silly. And the culture with plays is very different from the culture with movies. I think I've talked about this while we
Please go ahead again.
But the culture with plays is when the writer writes something, it's like their word is gospel. You have to do what they say.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And with movies, it's, hey, this guy wrote this. Anyways, so we got all these other people that you should care about. And Martin McDonagh has historically been like, no, I made this.
Yeah.
And movie people will recognize him because he's the writer and director for I don't know if he directed. Let me look. Yeah. He's the writer director for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Fantastic movie. Didn't it win some awards too, right?
It did. Yeah, it was at the Oscars. It won some stuff. Most recently, The Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
Also has Colin Farrell in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that one was nominated for a lot of stuff this year, but unfortunately it was going up against Everything Everywhere All at Once, which you and I absolutely loved.
Sorry, Martin McDonagh. Sorry.
Dude, I know. I have to watch that because I heard it was amazing movie.
Yeah.
And I love Colin Farrell, too. I think he's great.
Yeah. So I know about Martin McDonagh because my high school theater director, they do a tournament every year for all of the high schools. They do a 40-minute play. It's called One Act. And the only time in recent history that my director had ever gotten to state was when he did The Cripple of Inishmaan. So he loves Martin McDonagh. And his other favorite play of all time is The Pillow Man, but The Pillow Man is not a very school-appropriate play. It's about murdering kids.
Oh yeah, I can see how that. I can see how that wouldn't fly at most schools. That's definitely a sensitive subject here in America.
Very, very sensitive.
I don't know if we have any viewers outside of America, but actually, we won't get into that. It's just definitely not okay to kill kids. I think.
But so when I sat down to watch Seven Psychopaths, I always bring it up on IMDb so I can look at some stuff. all the time, and I was like, oh, it's Martin McDonagh. This makes all the sense in the world now.
Well, yeah, because I told you I was like, and funny enough, and I get it. At this point, I know the world is just like, who's this Clint guy? I don't think he's a real person.
Yeah.
But this is a movie that Clint recommended to me.
Yes.
And I watched. I was like, wow, that was actually really good. And so when I recommended it to you, you're like, oh, I haven't seen that. So when you said, oh, I know this guy, the director and writer, and I was like, oh, great. Like, and then you mentioned the, 3 Billboards, and I was like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
I've seen
It makes so much sense.
That's great. So
Yeah.
like I said, so like I'm a movie fan enough to know that I watch a lot of movies, but it's just, and I'm the same with music. Like I know a lot of music, and it's pretty, like I can get to and jam with a lot of different genres.
Yeah.
I just don't know the facts about them. I don't know who wrote. I don't know who sings it. But like I've heard that. I've seen it.
Yeah. The
I know the
Purple
words.
Rain. Yeah.
And this is the same
Love
with movies.
Purple Rain.
So as a full time movie fan, like I love movies like in that way. And then you and Clint know more of like the directors and the writers, and you're more into that
Yes.
kind of stuff. So
Yes.
I'm a little bit more casual in that respect. But knowing that he wrote 3 Billboards as well, to me that makes sense. So like, oh, that's why it's a good movie. And I mean the cast is fantastic as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, star-studded. I mean, there are movies that have more stars than bigger stars, but I mean, you've got Christopher Walken, you've got Colin Farrell, you've got Sam Rockwell, dude, a lot of other people too. Who else is in this thing?
I was looking at other stuff. Colin Farrell, Woody Harrelson, Samuel
Woody Harrelson.
Rockwell, Christopher Walken, and a bunch of other people here and there that just kind of pop in and out.
Yeah, so it.
Gabroy Sidibe,
There you go. You know our boy Gabroy.
a girl, Gabroy.
Yeah, I said that's
She's
all
Charisse.
my boys are girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Tom
all the-
Waits.
to all the female bros out there.
Yeah, Tom Waits was in there. Any Bonnie fans? That's the dog.
Oh,
Any
well,
fans of Bonnie?
I mean I'm a fan of dogs, so
Yeah. You can always tell when a writer like really takes care of their scripts too, because the log lines are like really solid. Do you know what a log line is?
no.
So a log line is
Full-time
an
fans who
industry term
Okay.
for what most people call the elevator pitch. Right? It's a 1 to 2 sentence summary of what the plot is about.
Yeah.
You ready? You ready for like how solid this log line is?
Let's do it.
A struggling screenwriter inadvertently becomes entangled in the Los Angeles criminal underworld after his oddball friends kidnap a gangster's beloved Shih Tzu.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's the whole movie.
But see, yeah, and that's, dude. See, here's the thing. I think a lot of great movies. So you have to have a great idea, and then you have to see it through.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people start with a great idea, but then it just goes wild and crazy, and you're just like, what's that one meme? What happened to the original plot of the movie? Like
Yeah.
it's like it just goes off into madness. You know what I mean? Which is what I love about Everything Everywhere All at Once is that it's crazy and there's madness everywhere, but
Yeah.
there's still the through line and the plot and the story is still so focused. And so I yeah, dude, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
I mean, so basically, guys, hopefully, like I said, you've watched the movie. But I mean, it starts with 2 guys who I assume were hired to kill somebody.
Probably.
And then one of our main characters, unbeknownst to us in the beginning, shows up, kills these 2 guys that were going to kill somebody, and then leaves
Leaves a calling card.
Jack of Diamonds,
Jack of Diamonds.
and goes off. And then we see this character a few different times throughout the movie. And then it just goes into, what's his name? The main character.
Marty.
Marty goes into his life, and he's kind of...
The self-insert character.
Yeah, the ideas that you see of most writers, whether it's books or whatever, the writer's life, that we're just kind of waking up, 10:30 a.m. and they're just a little bit, disheveled and unorganized, and what's it called? Writer's blocked, and they just don't know what to do. And you can see that his love interest is getting tired of his BS and stuff. So But yeah, and then we're introduced to, I guess, his friend circle, and it turns out that he's surrounded by not crazy people, but like I'll say one crazy person, and the other ones are people that have crazy stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think that
Well,
Christopher Walken's character is crazy.
I don't know. Christopher Walken's character was extremely calm for things that have happened to him.
Well, I mean, he was a priest or something. Is that what he was?
A Quaker.
Quaker. Yeah. So I don't know. It kind of fits. But I mean, the truth is that like the people around him have crazy stories. Obviously, this is revealed later on. So his Marty's friend, played by Sam Rockwell's character, who's just adamant, like, let me help you with this.
Billy.
Let me help you with this script that you're writing. Let me help you with it.
Yeah.
And he just does some crazy stuff. He's like, hey, have you heard about this guy in the news? He just like he kills or what he pitches basically himself.
Yeah.
As a serial killer that kills other serial killers or something.
Yeah.
That kills other killers. Or what?
Oh, no, it was it was Mafia, Yakuza.
Mafia and or Yakuza.
Yeah. Mafia
I think was his
Yakuza.
pitch. And then
I do remember that.
yeah, and then they ruled out Yakuza because it's like, oh, you got to do a translation and stuff like that. So
Yeah, very, very odd.
So
He also ends up pitching another one of the. So the main character Marty is writing a script called Seven Psychopaths, which is why it's self-insert. The Marty, it's there. Yeah, it's dumb, but it works.
yeah,
It's writer stuff. And Sam Rockwell's like, well, if you need psychopaths, you could do like real life psychopaths. Take the story of real life psychopaths and put them into this, and then gave like a fake story, about this dude whose his daughter was murdered, and then the murderer went to jail, found God, got out of jail, and then he just followed the killer around, like antagonizing him from a distance for years. To the point where,
I mean, in real life, that would be extremely unnerving.
Oh, absolutely.
To have someone just like know
Absolutely.
your every move and like your schedule and like just always be. Yeah, I think that would be an effective way to make someone feel extremely unsafe and like a little bit crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anyways, the whole story ends up being Christopher Walken's character's life story. Before we see Christopher Walken come in, who's also a little like off his rocker.
Well, I mean, that story, so he's following the guy who killed his daughter.
Yeah.
And so apparently the guy is like, well, at least he won't be able to follow me to hell. So,
Yeah.
And then Catholic religion beliefs is if you commit suicide, that's guaranteed number one way to guarantee you're going to hell.
Yeah.
So the guy's like, well, he's going crazy. He's like, I'm going to kill myself. This guy's definitely not going to do that.
And then he also
sure
slits
enough,
his throat while he's standing
in
outside.
front of him, like before, as this guy is dying, his last view of this guy
nuts.
is that he's cutting his own throat.
Yeah.
And so, that's very, maybe this is not for the kids, if
Yeah, it's a
you're
little.
kids, but
Trigger warning.
yeah.
Don't be
not
under
a
the
family-
age of 18.
Yeah, it's not a family movie, but it is a good movie. So then, and that turns out to be, like you said, Christopher Walken's character.
Yeah, who wears a funky little ascot.
Yeah, and then and it's actually. So the thing is, what's his name? You said Billy's.
Yeah, Billy.
Billy is actually giving him most of the movie, anyways.
Yeah.
and how he's so like, oh, I'm not gonna let you. At the beginning, he's like, no, we're not gonna work on this together.
Yeah.
he literally gave him one of his psychopaths.
Yep.
And his second, technically, thematically. He just didn't know that was his other friend. Mm-hmm. And so what I did love though, was Christopher Walken's character and his wife. You could tell that they were.
Yeah. So my understanding of the whole like instigating incident for the movie, the inciting incident, That's what it's actually called. Is that Christopher Walken's wife, Hans's wife, has cancer and he can't afford the treatment, and so what he does is he put together this like underground criminal ring to steal dogs from the park and wait till people post a reward for them and then return them.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's a way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's not okay.
Yeah,
but also you're like, oh, he loves his wife,
Yeah, that was another thing where Sybil was like, man, that's kind of fucked up, and I said, well, it's better than killing people.
That's true. And so, I mean,
it's not illegal, but it's not like
he's
dangerous.
Taking care of the dogs. He's not mistreating them or anything.
Yeah.
But
and then Billy
the
knowingly
who is like the truest psychopath. I think. I mean, I think there's some other ones. Yeah, he's the other guy with the rabbit.
Well, because he's two of them. So I mean,
well, yeah, two out of the seven, or six, I guess technically.
Yeah, he is a whole sixth of the psychopaths on his own.
Yeah. So. So yeah, he's trying to help out.
Yeah,
but he's also helping himself out.
Yeah,
because he's
the whole. Well, I mean,
he has a relationship with the gangster's girl. I don't know if they're married. Maybe his wife.
No, girlfriend. They said girlfriend.
So she's cheating on the gangster with Billy.
Yeah,
and he hears about this guy. He knows he's a garbage person.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna steal his dog.
Yep.
Which
we don't know about like. Super upfront,
right?
Because they tell you way later. He's like, "Oh no, I knew." You're like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, because he was just like, because he's with the girl, and then he's kind of like, "Oh yeah, I stole his dog," and then she's like, "What? He's been going crazy, like, and so, but that was what caused the first huge domino to fall with the gangster guy to start killing people, killed his dog, the dog walker. Poor girl, killed her. Then he went. I think his second was just straight after Hans's wife, right?
Yeah.
Because they found out, that it was him, and so they went straight over. She played it off good for a little bit, but then
she did.
But then she, I think she slipped up, and he picked up on that. So he's a smart guy. He's not a dumb gangster. Like, he's very smart, intuitive.
Yeah. Loves his dog. Look,
love his dog very much.
Anybody who's going to judge this man for going out against the world for his dog. That's like the whole plot to a very popular series of movies.
I mean, dude, how many deaths were laid at the feet of that dog's death?
Yeah.
In John Wick. I mean, like, seriously. And justified, too. I didn't feel bad for any of those guys.
I would do it.
Dude, if you've ever had a dog and love the dog, then
that dog is your life.
Yeah. And so
I've said it many times. If my dog goes too soon, I'm going with her.
Yeah. Seriously. But yeah, so it's understandable, but he's also just a little bit, he kills Hans's wife.
Yeah.
Who I think is an incredible actress as well. I mean, I think she played the part really well. I love them as a couple. And so that was, jumping back and forth here. So that was Hans and his wife's daughter that was killed by that guy.
Yeah.
Who went to prison. In the early story.
Yes.
That we were revealed to as to one of the psychopaths. And so technically the first one that he had in chronological order.
Yeah.
And so that was their daughter. And then so she gets killed by this guy. And then this is where it comes to Billy finding out. He tells his girlfriend, who is the mafia guy's girlfriend, that he stole the dog.
Yeah.
He gets a call that from Hans that, like, hey, his wife's dead. Or it was... he was bragging about it a little bit. He was like, yeah, I stole his dog. No, I'm not giving it back. I want him to be a decent person and give me money. Yeah.
And she went outside to, I guess, go call him, and Billy got a call from Hans. And Hans was like, yeah, the dude came after my wife, killed her.
And then
Billy was like, oh.
Yeah, without much emotion, then he just goes and freaking shoots a girl in her stomach.
Yeah.
Hey, full-time movie fans, thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you had a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We want to hang out and discuss the movie with you. So don't forget to do that below. Have a good one. I hope your day is everything you dreamed it being more.